Concrete evidence supports the fact that the Quran was written in its entirety and memorized in its entirety from the time it was given by the Prophet to the present day, and continued to uphold as a strong and unbroken chain of writing and memorization. It is appropriate to present some examples of outcomes of the research of renowned scholars from around the world, endorsing the facts about the unprecedented pristine condition of the text of the Quran. For example, Dr. Maurice Bucaille, a prominent French physician and author, best known for his work in the field of medical science and his exploration of the relationship between science and religion, writes in the page 102 of his famous book, The Bible, the Quran and Science.
Today's editions of the Quran are all faithful reproductions of the original copies. In the case of the Quran, there are no instances of rewriting or corruption of the text over the course of time.
Sir William Muir, a Scottish historian, scholar, and administrator, best known for his work on the history of Islam and the life of the Prophet Muhammad, writes in the introduction of his famous book, Life of Mahomet.
There is otherwise every security, internal and external, that we possess the text which Mahomet himself gave forth and used.
He continues to write,
We may upon the strongest presumption affirm that every verse in the Quran is genuine and unaltered composition of Mahomet himself.
And he continues,
There is probably no other book in the world which has remained 12 centuries with so pure a text.
Concluding his argument, he says,
And conclude with at least a close approximation to the verdict of Van Hammer that we hold the Quran to be as surely Mahomet's words as the Mohammedans held it to be the word of God.
Sir R. Bosworth Smith, a British author, historian and scholar, writes in the page 15 of his famous book Mohammed and Mohammedanism.
In the Quran we have, beyond all reasonable doubt, the exact words of Mohammed without subtraction and without addition.
H.A.R. Gibb, a British scholar and writer, writes in the page 50 of his famous book Mohammedanism.
It seems reasonably well established that no material changes were introduced and that the original form of Mohammed's discourses were preserved with scrupulous precision.
John Burton, a prominent British scholar and academic known for his expertise in Islamic studies, professor of Arabic, Islamic history and Hadith at the University of Edinburgh, writes about the Quran on the page 239 and 240 of his book, The Collection of the Quran. The Quran as we have it today is
the text which has come down to us in the form in which it was organized and approved by the Prophet. What we have today in our hands is the Mushaf of Muhammad.
Theodor Noldeck, a prominent German philologist, scholar, Orientalist and professor of University of Göttingen and University of Strasbourg, known for his significant contributions to the study of the Quran and early Islamic history, says,
Efforts of European scholars to prove the existence of later interpolations in the Quran have failed.